Welcome back, folks. This is it now then. This is the Lifeline's fastest 40, incorporating the Leat MX1 Elite class and then the Apico Elite MX2 class. We effectively have 3 championships in one race here. What we've got is the Lifeline's fastest 40. So basically, as they finish in the race, regardless of CC, that is a championship. That's the fastest 40 championship. Then we've got the classes within it. We've got the Leat MX1 class, where all the 450 riders will be scored separately. And then you've got the Apico MX2 class, where all the MX2 riders will be scored separately. And that's brilliant racing. So really, these guys effectively have got 2 championships to go for. It's very highly unlikely. I'm not saying it's beyond the realms of possibility that we're getting an MX2 rider winning the fastest 40 championship that's presented by Lifelines, but you never know. We might have an MX2 rider that just excels this year.
Well, it can happen, and you just never know who's going to just step up to the plate until the gates dropped for the first time. It just takes a good start and a bit of confidence building, and then it can be done.
It can indeed. I'm just going to be checking here because I just had a message ping through. Let me find it now. I think it was from, my phone suddenly lit up. It might have been from Mark Morris from the Jude Morris Foundation. Yes. Now the reason he's messaged me, you need to go on the Jude Morris Foundation page on Instagram. You'll find them, JMR Foundation. I think it's _ Foundation. Just you'll punch it in, you'll find it. Also on Facebook, they are auctioning off Jeffrey Hurling's winning Motocross of Nation goggles from Mantover, where he went 1-1. The current winning bid, as of 1 hour ago, they're up to 900 quid. So if you want a piece of motocross history, you need to outbid 900 quid.
900 quid and an hour to go.
Hour to go. You've got an hour. If you really want those goggles, you've got to fork out more than that. Now, if you think that's a lot of money for some goggles, get this. Most of the money will go back into the foundation and then to the air ambulance. The charity or the foundation has already written a check out to UK Air Ambulance for 80 grand.
85 grand.
85 grand. Okay, so everybody watching the sport, either at home, wherever you are in the world, or here at the event, get following the Jude Morris Foundation. We know the story. Tragically, Jude lost his life last year, so his parents, Mark and Lucy, set up the foundation to put back to the sport, to encourage young riders into it, and they are doing an incredible job.
Yes, and now that money doesn't, just go to the air ambulance. They've set up their own thing now where it is going back to youth riders. It's getting put into coaching for riders. They want to improve medical facilities at the tracks. Like their goals and vision for this are massive. So we've all we've all got to get behind them and help them out essentially. Because it's the only way they're going to help, that they're going to grow their foundation, which in turn helps grow the sport and makes it a better place for us riders, makes it safer as well, especially with the improvements in medical facilities and stuff. And this has all been a long time coming, and massive thanks to Mark Morris for taking on the challenge.
Absolutely, yeah. It's making a huge difference to our sport. What you are watching on your screen where at home and here at the venue is the sighting lap for the Lifeline's fastest 40, incorporating the Leat MX1 Elite MX1 class and the Apico Elite MX2 class. Again, 250 and 450 machines racing together. Unlike the other classes, though, we're also doing the Lifeline fastest 40. So they're also going to be scored as where they finish in the race as an overall fastest 40 championship.
Yep.
I'm going to be really intrigued to see, by the end, round 6, who is the top placed 250 rider in that and where they're sit in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I think the 250 class is actually going to be pretty... To be fair, they're both going to be exciting throughout this year, but we've got some great 250 riders. I want to see Jamie Wainwright have a good result, as well. I don't think he quite showed his true potential yet on that 250, on that Revo bike, so it'd be nice to see him him up there this weekend. There's so many riders we could sit here and talk about, but we're going to see them in a moment. They're going to drop the gate, and we're going to see where everyone's going to be.
It is exciting. Look, this is no disrespect ever to all other classes who offer up an incredible race, and we saw how good those clubman races are. But you know, the pros, the elite riders, they just add that little bit more just because of the technique, the speed,
isn't it?
You know. So this is going to be absolutely awesome to watch. As we said, these are 250s and 450s mixed together. So sometimes you can argue, as we said in other classes, you have a 450 having a dust up with a 250. It doesn't sort of matter because they're racing separate classes, but this year it kind of does because of the Lifeline's fastest 40.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what bike you're on. We're running this separate championship for the fastest 40.
Yeah, no, I like it.
So it's racing across the board, you know.
Let's see who can get it done. I've had someone message me, where's Dylan Walsh this weekend? He's back at the Supercross.
He is, yeah.
So Dylan's had to give this one a miss, fly out to America to do is it the East-West shootout that they're going to do?
No, that's not yet. I think it's still back to a West Coast. They're up at Seattle, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. So they're doing the Seattle Supercross. So, yeah, he's had to take a little break to get back in the Californian sunshine. God bless his soul.
It won't be that sunny up there, though. Seattle will be quite cold, actually. There's Jamie Carpenter on his new ride, GRT Impact KTM. And Petr Petrov as well. Good to have him back racing in the UK. There's Mio, but not Florin.
Well, Florin was
Matteo.
Matteo Mayo.
There's Lewis Hall back on a two-stroke, which is great for him.
Do you know a little bit about that decision? Like what's made him go
he
back
just enjoys riding the bike more. It's as simple as that. He's having more fun. He's gone back to being a kind of privateer. He does part-time work with his dad, rides when he can, and he just wants to start having fun again. And he genuinely is getting more fun riding the 250 two-stroke than the four-stroke. So that's why he's at it. Jake Millward has started the season great on the Verdi Shilo KTM racing machine.
He has.
Alongside him is Sean Simpson. Sean, ex-GP winner, of course. Loads of years doing GP racing on his own team, the SS24 machine. There's Adam Collins on the motorcycle KTM.
So Sean won an MXGP, didn't he? Tommy never actually managed to win an MXGP, I don't think. Did he? He won a lot of MX2 races.
You're putting me on the spot
now. I
now.
don't think Tommy won an MXGP
I'm sure
race.
somebody will tell us.
Yeah, but Sean definitely did. I remember him doing it. He was on a Yamaha, wasn't he?
He won a couple. He did Lomo as well, on a KTM as well. There's Alfie Jones moving up to the big boy class in the MX2 on the Chambers Husqvarna. There he is. Thumbs up from Alfie, always walking around the pit smiling. Carl McNichol on the Verdi Sport.
He's had a good start to the season.
Very well.
He's had a very good start to the season. Good to see him.
And there's last year's champion in the MX2. Now moving into MX1 on the AC United Gas. That is John Adamson. Next to him, Jason Mira, riding for Phoenix Tools, Even Strokes Kawasaki, making the trip over from Northern Ireland.
Jamie Wainwright, number 40 on the Revo Kawasaki in that nice 7-gear look, looking all racy.
Sam Nunn has also been showing some great speed early on. Had some bad luck last week at Cullum, but he's definitely had some speed. He was flying. Yeah,
he has. So these guys are going to get loaded onto the gate now. Look, some kids there, some little fans.
I love that.
The kids, they just want to get down there and see
Hayden Statt, just like walking amongst his heroes. Brilliant. So absolutely brilliant.
These guys all have their mechanics, so they'll be left alone now.
Actually, yeah, that was my brother there, actually. My brother is mechanic, yeah. That's my brother, Sean, is mechanic for Lewis Hall, back from his days with Team Green, and put the old team back together on a two-stroke, which is definitely more my brother's liking, generation.
It's interesting how Lewis has chosen to do that, but it makes sense. I suppose if he's enjoying the bike, I suppose he's still got the 250F if he wants to ride it.
I think so.
He's got both, and he can sort of chop and choose, can't he? Do what he wants.
I think he'll stick with the two-stroke now. I really do. He's doing his own thing, his own little race thing.
You say that, but then when we get over to like hard pack stuff, Fox Hills thing. Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think it benefits swapping and changing bikes throughout the year. You've got to have continuity and know where you're at with everything, really. There's Josh Gilbert. Josh has been over in America training in Florida, getting used to the humidity. First time he's been to the States, certainly to train and ride. Said it was obviously a brilliant experience.
It's probably been his best winter.
Yeah, well, it would be. He's managed to get a load of riding in.
I mean, he normally lives in Cornwall. Very difficult to ride all the time, especially consistently with the weather that we get here. So I think he's going to be top-notch this year once he starts getting warmed up.
Well, Florida has loads of sand tracks, so I think, you know, a lot of people don't realise that.
Humidity as well.
They just think it's, you know, like the California thing. It's not. It's completely different.
Yeah, very different
to California. So he will be in good nick right now. He's been getting a load of training in the good weather, like road bike cycling, all that kind of thing in good weather. But you have to say the two there, number 151, the reigning champion, Harry Kulas on the cab screens, Crescent Yamaha, and Tommy Searle next to him on the Crendon Fast Track Hitachi Honda.
Yeah, they're going to be going at it, aren't they?
You know, like that, as we're lining up right now, those two are firm favourites, you know.
Stuart Edmonds, 162 on the Apico Husqvarna. John Adamson there on the Acer United Gas number 2.
And of course, for those of you that are not really sure what you're looking at, what we've got here is mixed class, as we said, MX1, MX2. You can identify the 450s. They run white backgrounds with black numbers. The 250s run black backgrounds with white numbers. That's correct. How you can tell what capacity bike they are riding. There's Ben Putnam right out on the end on the Chambers 2-stroke. No, he's not. He's on a 4-stroke, 450. Tim Chambers, great to have him back in the sport. He's got about 40 riders, I think, under his awning, something like that.
They do have quite a lot, don't they? But I think he's just one of these guys who's just really passionate. He loves it. He loves it. You've got to be, you know, well into it to put that level of commitment into something. You do.
Here we go then. This is the Lifelines Fastest 40 incorporating the Leatt MX1 and a Pico MX2. Hold on, buckle in, gate drop, round 1 at FatCat Motor Park, Michelin MX Nationals. We go. Who's going to get that important hole shot coming in from the outside? Looks like Josh Gilbert. Now, he's been working on his sprint laps. That was always a bad... it's Ashton Dickinson that's worked his way to the front already. Did a man in the van interview with him yesterday, and he was saying how confident he is. He's coming into MX1, and he said, I'm going for the top 3. I want to win.
Fair play. Fair play. It's been a long time coming. Dickinson's, you know, he's a fantastic rider. He's been in the pro ranks for a long time now. He might be more suited to the 450.
Yeah.
So there we are. We've got Dickinson. Searle.
He's on it. Look at the gap he's opened up already.
Gilbert.
Early days, though.
Kulas. Sean.
So the timing as they cross the line, we're going to get up on screen for you in a short while. Get them all over the stripe, and then the transponder, the timing. Got a little bit of a lag on it, but we'll get it up on screen shortly. It's Ashton Dickinson leading the way ahead of Tommy Searle. And the leading rider over the line in MX2 was actually Tom Grimshaw ahead of Jamie Law on that 250 Apico 2-stroke. Adam Collins was third over the line for MX2. But leading the way in the race is Dickinson. He's riding that Torque KTM.
Good start from Stuart Edmonds as well. So Edmonds up there in the top 5 by the looks of it. And eyes on Millward. So Millward, like I say, is a local lad. He's not anymore. He lives down south now. But definitely grew up round these parts and done his fair share of riding around FatCats. Always had some quite good results here as well, Jake Millward, the 303. And he can just, to be fair, not just here, he can shock anybody anywhere nowadays. He really is riding well this season.
He absolutely is, and I expect him to charge through. This is a 25-minute plus 2-lap moto. By the time you've had those extra 2 laps, you're getting knocking on for a 30-minute moto, like the old days. Right now, though, as we said, it's the Torque template KTM rider of Ashton Dickinson leading the way over Tommy Searle. Been there, done it, nearly got it all. What was it, 4 times runner-up in the World MX2 Championship.
I tell you what, though, he has been passed now by Gilbert, and it looks like Kulas is going around him as well. So Tommy not finding comfort at the early stages of this one. And
Not at all.
Sean's looking good as well. Sean up the inside.
But there's a long way to go. This is it. And Tommy is... he has got so much experience. Look at these two. I mean, they have been around a long time.
I think the thing is with Tommy, he needs to be comfortable. Once he starts finding a bit of comfort in the track, he will go forward. It's how he is. He's always been like it.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to take any unnecessary risks. He understands it in the championship. This is just day one. Race one, day one. Let's not do anything silly.
Yeah. He does look a little bit out of sorts there, though. He did not as lively as he would have been first few laps I've normally seen him. So I don't know if he's just easing in.
It's just not his thing, mate. It's not his thing. But
well, no, I mean, I've seen him go. You know,
he's got the experience.
Yeah, there's no need to panic at this point for Tommy Searle. Let's see. We'll hopefully get back to Ashton Dickinson out front. Let's get the battle out front. Here we go. We are on the battle for the lead. It's Ashton Dickinson, Torque Template KTM, who has got the SC Sports Home rider Josh Gilbert. You can see the interview with Josh Gilbert we did last night on the Live at 7 show on MXN TV.
Josh Gilbert using all
muscle
the track
move.
Straight up the inside of Dickinson there. Dickinson, who's going to be bold, by the way, due to those goggles that Mark Morris is giving away. So Dickinson just having to yield to Gilbert there. So the SC Sport Homes Husqvarna rider Josh Gilbert flying into the lead right now. That Florida life definitely served him well, didn't he? Oh,
just
hit a big old hole then.
Yeah, just kind of stopped him in his tracks. Dickinson won't give up on this by any stretch, of course. We are so early into this race. There's a lot that's going to happen yet. We are just starting out as Dickinson fights back. He's going to sweep up the inside. No, it pinches up tight on that corner. Kind of deceiving from the TV angle. You think he's going to have it. Look at Kulas, the champion, the defending champion.
Lurking, isn't he, in the background.
On the cab screens, Crescent Yamaha. He knows last year he was so good round here. And that will be in his head. And it will be in all the other riders' head.
He's quite he's a tough cookie. And I think when tracks get, a little bit rough and gnarly to the degree of where some riders think, ooh, bit of a risk that. Harry just doesn't seem to bother him. He just does it. The 151, he's been there, he's done GPs, he's ridden in Estonia where he's from. They have some really gnarly tracks out there, like ungraded, nasty stuff. I've seen it. And I think that's just bred this beast that we see today. There's
a lot of those, Scandinavian and Northern Europe. These guys race hardened. There's no doubt about that. Kulas, and of course, has got the experience. He's closing in. He won this championship last year in some style, I have to say. So he won a piece of it again. He want to keep hold of that red plate. Red plate signifies that he is the champion, and then thereafter, each round that we go to, the red plate will signify the series leader in each class. So
if he wins it this year, we'll have to get a gold one made for him, maybe. Eh?
You can pay for it. He can pay for it. Anyway, no, we'll sort something out for him, I'm sure. Right now, he's putting pressure on Dickinson, and Gilbert is riding a blinder at the minute. We're going to try, let's see, go further down the field, try and find the leading MX2 rider. We're just going to split the time in here in our booth. It's Jamie Carpenter, number 184. So Jamie Carpenter out there on the GRT whole shot machine. He's down the field a little bit, obviously, on the MX2 bike. But he is leading. He is the lead rider in MX2. That's brought to you by Apico, remember?
We'll try and find Jamie Carpenter on the track. Obviously, these guys need to sift through everybody and all the cameras to try and find him. But right now on screen, Kulas looking pretty good, about to make a move on the 115.
Yeah, going back into the field on the Apico MX2 class, you've got Jamie Carpenter currently leading the way, Tom Grimshaw in second, Lewis Hall third. Then in fourth is, Lewis Hall now to second.
Wow. Tom Grimshaw. Jay Haig just goes through in fourth. That's the 277. And then it should be Callum Mitchell following him in fifth. So the MX2 riders a little bit further down the field at the moment. This track's very heavy, though. It's hard for an MX2 bike. It's probably the hardest track for an MX2 bike to be competitive.
It is, indeed. But these guys have know all about it. They know what they're doing. Sean Simpson, as we said, has won GPs, World Championship races in the sand. It's fair to say he knows how to ride this stuff. A lot of sand tracks up in Scotland on his home turf. He's spending more time back up there now. Spent a lot of his career, obviously, based in Belgium.
Yeah.
But he's moved back home now, young family. And yeah, there's still plenty of decent tracks up in Scotland for him to ride.
God, could you imagine how much more refreshed Sean feels like on a Monday morning now compared to what he used to? He just lived in that Sprinter van that you all see in this paddock here, travelling Europe, gnarly, like just gnarly, doing all the GPs. So he's going to be a little bit happier, I think, just sticking with domestic racing for now.
Here we go. We're trying to find these battles down the pack. There's Jamie Carpenter in that all-orange kit and yellow lid. But this MX2 class is going to tighten up a lot. It's Jamie Carpenter still leads the way, 184. Josh Gilbert is your Keck's fastest lap at the moment. Remember, we only do it on the whole weekend. So, you know, I would have thought the first first laps will be the second race is going to be obviously slower.
I would say so. There he is, 184.
There's Carpenter.
But I think Lewis Hall's passed him.
He has. Lewis Hall just in front of him, number 419. Yeah. Lewis Hall, 419, is your Pico MX2 race leader at the minute.
So there he is, just going over the top of the air. That's him there? Yep, there we are. There is the race leader for MX2. That is super cool. Lewis Hall's going to be very excited with that because it's been a long time coming. Hopefully he can see it through to the end of the race. We saw Lewis do this last year at FatCats, and it all went a little bit pear-shaped.
It did. I mean, he did take a pro win. Didn't he? Was it Landrake? He took one somewhere last year. He did take one pro MX2 win. Martin Barr is just ahead of him. So let's just go back to the MX2 timing and see. So it's Josh Gilbert is still leading MX1, brought to you obviously by Liat. Yeah, so it was Lewis Hall. There he is, 419 on the Lewis Hall Racing Husqvarna, his own little team that he puts together.
The last lap he went round 204.
That's
compared
impressive.
to Jamie Carpenter's 208.
So he's flying. Lewis Hall has done many laps round here. He actually done one of the greatest rides I've ever seen round here on an 85 back in the day. He crashed on the first corner. He was 10 seconds, no, not even that, less than 10 seconds off of being lapped by the leader by the time he picked the bike up. And in a 12-minute moto, he came back to get finished third. It was some ride, I got to say. Anyway, he's leading this one.
He's looking very comfortable as well. So LHR Racing, that's
his own gig.
Yeah, fair play. And he's backed by Dale Grayton at Middleton MX in the Middleton Mafia. We all love Dale.
He's running some good lines as well. So remember, this is the Lifelines Fastest 40. Go and check Lifelines out. It's a new sports hydration. You can refresh, recover, hydrate. The guys are going to need some after this one. 25 minutes plus 2 laps. So go and check them out. Basically, if you're serious about your sport, about getting yourself in good nick, go and check out Lifelines. They're all over Instagram, Facebook, and of course you can check them out online and their range of products. It's great to have Dave and the team on board.
There's 162 Stuart Edmonds on the Apico Factory Racing Husqvarna. And who's behind him there? Is that Jason Mira? Jason Mira, number 10, applying the pressure at the minute. They're battling for 13th and 14th in MX1.
Well, I can honestly say, what are we in? We've got, it's going quick, this race. We've only got 13:20 to go in a 25 plus 2.
So it's been exciting.
Yeah, we're already halfway through. Got to say, that's not the lineup that I would have predicted.
No.
Currently, Josh Gilbert leading the way ahead of Dickinson and Kulas.
Absolutely not. I think Stuart Edmonds looks like he's struggling a little bit. Stuart's better than that, but we'll see.
Well, it's tough out there. It's brutal.
Oh,
There's Kulas has gone past Dickinson on that Torque Temple at KTM. So the champion on the cab screens, Crescent Yamaha, moves up into second. We've got a wave yellow down there. Who's that? Off the track, can't see. The bike's on top.
Maybe we can get a visual of that.
Was that Brad Todd? That I don't want to speculate, but it did look a little bit like a Gabriel Solution bike on the floor.
Looked like a very bright kit. Anyway, Dickinson is fighting back on the 151 and Kulas. Is he going to go for the inside here?
He's going to get pinched. Kulas keeping a nice tidy line. Josh Gilbert, meanwhile, look at that. Florida has served him well, hasn't it?
13 seconds.
Wow. I tell you what, yeah, listen, he's doing more for the basically Florida Tourist Board right now in the UK from the motocross fraternity and anything. Clearly going to Florida pays dividends.
Well, he was down at, I think they were at MTF, weren't they? They went MTF, they've been GTF, they've been all around those training facilities. And, hey, they've put the work in. It's not a cheap gig doing all that. So it's obviously paying off, isn't it?
I mean, you know, even stateside, it seems that the industry is sort of swinging back towards Florida more now. You've got obviously the Star Racing team have bought Carmichael's old farm.
Yeah, well,
more of them now gone back to training and riding in Florida than California, it seems.
I couldn't believe the facility they've built there at Carmichael's farm, because before, Jeff, it was just a wooden old house where Carmichael grew up, and then like 2 cow sheds almost where he did all his training from. Then they've built this massive factory, 12 bike workshop. It's insane. Gym there, and then 4 or 5 tracks. It's just madness what they've done. And then down the road you've got MTF, you know, and then you've got GTF, and then Dream Tracks play. It's all, you know, it's all there. But do you know what? It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a hard slog. There's nothing fun to do.
No, apart from riding a bike.
Nothing, mate, for hours. Like, you can drive for hours and see nothing. So they go in there for work. When they go California, unfortunately, it's too nice. There's too much stuff to do, too many things to distract you from what you're going there for.
Okay, we still got that rider down. I think it is. I can't see him on the. So it's rider. Let's go look on the list. Scroll down. No, I can't. It's Brad Todd. I'm sure it's Brad Todd that potentially might have gone. No, I don't want to speculate until we got absolute confirmation on who that is. Sean Simpson taking his time up on the pegs, looks a little bit out of sorts. He's just been overtaken by John Adamson, last year's MX2 champion. So Josh Gilbert is currently leading this Lifeline's fastest 40 race, and he's also leading the Liat MX1 category. There's Jake Nichols on the Crendon Fast Track Hitachi Honda.
Yeah, currently in 6th.
Yep.
Not a bad ride, actually, for Jake.
No. He's building up, I think, this year. Too many times, I think, you know, obviously he was so close to winning a British title, you know, and he has won titles before, but injuries. When he was having that really good year a few years ago, and he had that freak ankle foot injury, I think it was.
And I think that set him back for a while,
didn't
it?
It really did.
Anything like that. I mean, we've seen Jeffrey Erling's going through it as well. Feet, massively important in motocross. Probably over anything, even hands. Like, feet are even worse. So it's good to see Jake actually. I think he's riding well, you know, and I think he'll be happy with where he is.
Adamson having a good ride though.
Adamson looking absolutely great.
Yeah, you can see there he's got the extended peak of the visor on his crash helmet with the low light later on in particular, and the roost. What he's done is he's basically sort of extended it with maybe a goggle lens or something, just to stop a lot of the roost going. And here comes Simpson.
Sean's coming back.
He is coming back, isn't he? He's like, right, I'll give you a lap to see where you were going.
Look at that. Like, absolutely, it looks like no effort whatsoever. It's almost frustrating. But Sean's like decided, nah, I'm going to push you back. So that was true Belgium sand riding GP style, wasn't it?
Did you? Over there was sublime. He landed in that hole and just let the suspension preload over that little sharp edge bub, and then just took off again. As I mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, sometimes it's not all about just hitting things flat out. It's timing it with throttle, body weight, preloading the suspension, all those things to keep the flow going.
Sean will look for lines as well, like, you know, Sean and like the top guys are constantly searching for like small lines, like little bumps and stuff they can use for their advantage. See, then he's jumping a little bit further onto one of the accelerating bumps, and even there, like, you know, everything is used to their advantage, isn't it? Like, they don't see anything as like a hindrance. It's almost like, well, how can I use that to propel me forward? How can, you know, how is that bump going to react to that bump? So I think it's just part of getting that maturity and having that experience of doing racing at a world stage. You can just see it. They're different.
Tommy Searle is not enjoying this by any stretch. He has dropped outside of the top 10 now. And actually, you can see on your timing screen that your leading MX2 rider, by my reckoning, is Lewis Hall, who's now in the top 10 of the race. So he's on an absolute charge.
Yeah, Lewis Hall is in 10th. So the top 10 running order overall at the minute, we've got Josh Gilbert, Harry Koulas, Ashton Dickinson, Sean Simpson, John Adamson in 5th. 6th is Jake Nichols. 7th is Jake Millward. 8th, Peter Petrov. 9th, Brad Todd. And 10th is Lewis Hall.
Yeah, so Lewis loving two-stroke life on that 250. His own team.
Good shout. He
Good
looks
shout.
a lot more comfortable on it.
He does indeed. He's been doing a lot of riding up in Scotland. Loads of sand tracks up there. He's been going up right up to Tain and all those tracks way up north in deep sand. The lad from Derby getting it done, putting in the work on that 252 stroke, and it's starting to pay off.
He is a man of my own town. So the Pro MX2, Lewis Hall is leading the way, followed by Jamie Carpenter. Tom Grimshaw is in 3rd, so good ride for Tom. Colton Husband is up to 4th. 5th, we've got Callum Mitchell. 6th, Jay Haig. 7th, Jamie Law. 8th, Kyle McNichol. 9th, Alfie Jones. And 10th, we've got Matteo Mio.
And then in the Liat MX1 class, it's Josh Gilbert leading the way ahead of Harry Koulas. Then it's Ashton Dickinson for 3rd. 4th is Sean Simpson. John Adamson, number 2, in 5th, ahead of Jake Nichols, number 45. Then it's Jake Millward in 7th, number 303 on the Verdi Shillo machine. Then it's Petrov in 8th. 9th is Brad Todd, so that wasn't Brad Todd that had crashed. We'll get a number on who that was. In 10th was Liam. Currently is Liam Knight, and Tommy Searle now down in 11th, so not where he wants to be.
Definitely not. On screen now, the 184 of Jamie Carpenter, having a good ride on that GRT whole shot KTM. And there's Lewis Hall, the 419, looking super comfortable. Looks like has he just gone round Mia? No, he'd already be ahead of Mia. So the 419 looking really good. Like Jeff was saying, switched to two-stroke machinery. He was on a 250F coming into the season, wasn't he? He'd made the decision, I think, that he was going to be on a 250F. And then last minute...
Well, not really. He rode the two-stroke through most of the winter then, right about a month ago, or maybe a bit less than that, decided to go back onto a four-stroke.
Right.
And then did 2 or 3 weeks on that, but it didn't really sort of work for it. And then he just thought, no, well, I'm having more fun doing this, as he blows by number 134, Liam Knight, on the Gabriel machine. Obviously, that's a rider that's got effectively more power than him. He's riding a 450.
Yeah. Lewis looks absolutely fantastic at the moment. It's good to see him, almost looking like how he should be.
Oh.
Yeah,
no, I know.
But this is what people expect of Lewis. Like, people look at him and think, you know what? Like, he was so good on 85s. He was great coming up through the youth stuff. Like, let's have it.
I think, having worked with Lewis on the Team Green program, the thing is, he's an out-and-out racer, and this is the trouble. In a negative way, because he's such an out-and-out racer, he just, I think previously has always just wanted it so bad and tried so hard all the time that those little mistakes creep in.
Well,
he's still young.
Even now, to be fair, Carpenter isn't that far behind. I was going to say, he doesn't need to be racing Martin Barr. Chill down, you know what I mean? Like, you win in MX2. Like, don't go and throw it all away. But Jamie Carpenter is still there, only a couple of seconds behind, so he does need to keep moving forward.
Two young riders that came through. Lewis is a little bit younger than Carpenter, but
3 minutes left on the clock. Then we'll have the 2-lap card.
So Carpenter is on the GRT Impact KTM, hunting down Lewis Hall on his own race team. That's the battle for supremacy in MX2. There looked like Jake going through. That was Jake Nichols going through shot, I think, number 45, currently in 6th. Gilbert, we haven't lost him. We're filming some of these battles further down the field because, quite frankly, Josh Gilbert is there. He is. He's kind of in a race of his own at the minute. Look, he's not overriding. You see that? He's not You can see by the tail roost coming out of the rear wheel.
Yeah.
So he's not getting it dug in too deep. He's just feathering that throttle and keeping that thing rolling.
Yeah. I mean, like some of the sand tracks in Florida.
He's going to lap Tommy Searle here, you know.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Tommy. Is Tommy pulled out?
There he is there.
There's Tommy. Yeah, he's going to get lapped. Wow.
I mean, we don't know. We go and speak to Tommy, try to catch up in between races.
No, is that might be...
oh, no, sorry. That's yeah,
that
they're in the same kit.
Yeah.
That's what threw me there.
Mayo having a little battle there. So they are in a battle at the minute for 8th and 9th.
Well, no, he has lapped Tommy, because Tommy looks like he's gone out of the race.
Yeah,
he's showing 2 laps down.
I think he is out of the race now, Tommy.
Okay, so
Hopefully
Gilbert...
nothing too serious. There's Jamie Wainwright.
So this Lifeline's fastest 40 race on your screen, I think that's right, timing. It's showing Josh Gilbert with a 23-second lead, is that right? Good God, that is absolutely flying then. If he's that far ahead.
It's a big gap. It says on here 13 I've got, but yeah, it may be.
Yeah.
It's a huge lap. But I was going to say, when I was at like the sandbox the other week, their outdoor sand track probably quite similar to this.
Yeah.
The ground, it's not like Belgium deep, but I'd say it's very similar. So he's been training in the right place. But let's see if he's got it when we get to some of the other hard pack tracks as well, which we know he's been previously very good on growing up on that sort of stuff. So Gilbert might be. A title contender.
That gap is 23 seconds.
23 seconds.
Incredible ride from Josh Gilbert. I bet he'll be looking forward to going back to Florida if it makes him this quick every time he goes.
I mean, that's it's not even impressive, it's ridiculous. I can't believe it. The difference from last year to this year.
He's always been quick, we know that, whatever, but
mate,
it's the first part of the race that he, by his own admission on the Live at 7 studio show last night, he saying, look, those early laps was what used to kill him, really,
It's nearly half a minute, Jeff.
Yeah, he'd be getting going, but then he'd be buried in traffic and then have to pick off riders. The difference is he's worked on his sprint laps. He's got himself out front early with a clear track, and therefore he can push on. And what a difference it makes. There you go. Those we said in the tech feature, not in the tech feature, sorry, the terminology, how important a whole shot is, and or being at least in the top few round the first corner can make such a difference to your race. That's not taking anything away from him, because clearly he's riding absolute stonker. Jamie Carpenter has now gone past Lewis Hall in the battle of MX2, Pico MX2 supremacy. So let's try and find them out on track if we can. There was Lewis going through the background. There's your race leader. Overall race leader in the fastest 40, Lifeline's fastest 40 championship race, incorporating the Liat MX1 and a Pico MX2. It is Josh Gilbert making it a bit of a cakewalk.
Fantastic ride, absolutely fantastic ride, and I think it's such a good thing for that team as well. Bit of an uplift, they've put a lot of hard work in over the winter. Such a shame we can't have Bobby here with us this weekend because of political reasons. But wow, Josh Gilbert just given a bit of a boost to that team. Morale is going to be high in the SC Sports Homes rig, and Putnam's face is going to be smiling, and there's going to be a lot of happy people. So top job, Josh Gilbert. This is the best I've ever seen him ride.
Yeah, he does look absolutely
I've never seen him ride this good.
I mean, and we've always pretty much put Josh down as a hard pack specialist, hasn't we, really?
You start labelling people, and I think the riders can start believing that as well. But he's clearly proved us both very wrong.
I'm glad. Good. Yeah,
I'm glad. Yeah.
Always happy to be proved wrong if the other person's right.
There we are.
If they're not right, then yeah. But in this case, definitely. Did he just get the 2 laps to go board to go there? Yeah, so 2 to go for your race leader, Josh Gilbert, on that SC Sports Home Husqvarna.
I mean, I don't think he'd look out of place at a GP riding this pace that he's going now.
Yeah, looks slick. The team looks slick. They're running that Thor kit. Always nice, clean lines from that brand. And, of course, Yeah, they look good. Not only with their riding skill, but how the bike looks and everything like that. So it's a feel-good factor in that team at the minute. Certainly at this moment in time.
What I like though about that team, there's not a lot of waste. You see them, they still use like the air fork and stuff. Like they're not spending loads of money on this, that, and the other. I think they're focusing the funds in the right areas, and it's obviously paying off.
Absolutely is paying off. There is your MX2 race leader. On screen is Jamie Carpenter on the GRT Impact KTM, the rider from Ringwood down there in Hampshire. Local, my neck of the woods. In fact, I'd say Jamie is probably the nearest regional rider to me. So he rides a practice track at Rogers Hill, our local, which is hard pack. Good little practice facility. Of course, he rides everywhere, but that would be Jamie's local. This would be fantastic for him. His new team. This is not his debut, of course, because he raced last week. But this is certainly his debut for the team in the Michelin MX Nationals powered by Milwaukee. And there he is out front leading the Apico MX2 class.
Yeah, I think Jamie's such a hard worker, isn't he? He's a hard worker. A lot of people, you know, over the years have sort of let him down here and there, but Jamie never lets anybody down. My personal opinion of Jamie, I've worked with him, I've sponsored him, we've done bits and bobs with him. I've never had anybody who's been so appreciative of what you give it. So to see him doing well and to see everything sort of moulding around him and working and fitting in right, it's so good for me to see, because I think he's a great lad and he's got a good future as well.
Yeah, and he's on a great team. You know, either way you look at it,
they know what they're doing.
The guys at GRT are just a comprehensive team, from auto riders right up to Jamie Carpenter, you know, putting back into the sport and doing a really thorough job with the way the team looks, the professional side of it.
Yep.
You know, both Dan and John Giffard, the team owners, work tirelessly. And props to them. And you know, for their sake and obviously for Jamie's sake, I hope he brings it home and gets it over the line. We are on, I think, our final lap here with Josh Gilbert. We're going to grab both the winners in the winner's circle before we get back to racing with the Sintel 85cc class. So we'll probably stick with Josh on screen, bring him home. He's, well, what's his lead? When the last time we looked, it was 20 seconds plus, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're
still
29 seconds, is it?
No, that cannot be right.
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
I was going to say.
Let's wait.
Okay. 25, around 25 seconds last time we looked.
That was last time. Let's see now, because there's Kulas. Kulas is still on his lap. So
yeah, Harry might have backed it down, saving energy for Moto 2. But then, having said that, with a 25-second lead, so has Josh Gilbert. He's earned that.
Very much
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just take your time, mate.
You can see him just bouncing around the track, though. He's just trying to, you know, be light on the bike. He's not taking any unnecessary risks. Look how easy he makes it look. That's when they're going so fast, you know, and everything in their mind is clicking off right, and they're just hitting their marks. That is Josh Gilbert right now. He is in the rhythm of his life. Oh, no! Why did I talk?
Why did you talk?
No.
This is an impossible job. We say it time and time again.
He should be okay, and that's why you build up a 25-second lead, ladies and gentlemen. So it doesn't matter.
Honestly, do you know what? Shall we just never do commentary again?
Yeah, I know. We're done
and
now.
Just open the floor up to people watching at home, and they can do their own commentary.
He was riding perfect.
I know. Anyway, still going to take the race win. He'll probably have a little joke with me about that at the winner's circle. So there it is, your Lifeline's fastest 40 race winner and Leah MX1 race winner, Josh Gilbert. We're going to go and catch up with him at winner's circle.
Let's wait for the Apico MX2 winner to cross the line. Let's see who that's going to be. I believe it's still going to be the 184 of Jamie Carpenter, but Lewis Hall was hot on his heels. We're going to throw this off to an advert break now, and you will see Jeff in the winner's circle with our winners. There's the 184 of Jamie Carpenter, who is leading the Apico MX2 category. He's just going to take this home, hopefully. Famous last words. I might even just keep my mouth shut, considering what just happened to me in MX1. So here we are, GRT. Impact KTM rider 184, Jamie Carpenter, going past the mechanics area for the last time. Big claps. P1 on the pit board. He's going to be very happy with that. And that's it. That is the Apico MX2 race winner, Jamie Carpenter.
Right, here at the winner's circle with the Lifeline's fastest 40 race winner and Leah MX1 class, Josh Gilbert. We spoke to you last night, Josh, on the Live at 7 show, saying how Florida treated you well. My God, it has, hasn't it?
Yeah, I felt so good out there then. And to start with, for the first lap, I sort of just sat behind Tommy and thought I could go on a little bit more. I knew it was going to be a long race, so I didn't go 100% straight away, but yeah, just got in the lead and just sort of just got in my own rhythm really, and it was just like practicing. I didn't worry about what they were doing. I just rode my own race, and then just sort of 10 minutes to go, I had about a 20-25 second lead, so I just sort of was bringing it home until the second to last turn.
Just going to talk about that, because being a commentator is a nightmare. Classic commentator's curse. Luckily, you did it to Callum and not me. He was bigging you up, and then what happened there, right on the 2 corners to go?
I just went around the rollers before you get back onto the start straight, and the back just slid out, and it just pitched me sort of forwards into the bank, and then yeah, just went down. Stupid little mistake. I think I'd already shut off. That's the trouble, especially out here. You can't really shut off, and I did at that point.
Still got plenty of tear-offs on his rip and roll there, so it shows that was a good race performance. You've got to be made up with that.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Wish you the best of luck for the next moto. Josh Gilbert, winner of the Lifeline's fastest 40, and Leah MX1 class. Okay, we're here with the Apico MX2 winner, and I know he'll be pumped about this. Jamie Carpenter, first ride out in the Michelin MX Nationals for your new team, GRT Impact, KTM, race win. I mean, were you seriously expecting that?
I knew I could do it. I've had good results here the past couple of years, so I prefer sand. Season started last week, didn't get off to the start I'd like to, but it's great to bounce back this week with a win.
I mean, we just spoke off air. We thought last year was brutal. You've just told me that already in race 1, it's more brutal than it was after race 2, and it's hotter. It's going to be a tough second moto, isn't it?
Yeah. Last year it was a lot drier, so the jumps held up. So the straights were rough, but the jumps you could get some rest. But today there's no rest. The jumps are falling apart. So yeah, ready for battle in race 2 later on.
It's going to be a good vibe back over there when you go back for the team. Obviously, how's that been settling in with your new team?
Yeah, great. Everything involved is just what I want. Like I say, after last week wasn't what we planned, but it's great to show what I'm capable of this week and bounce back.
Well, listen, go back, rest up. You're a Apico MX2 winner, Jamie Carpenter. Well done, mate.
Cheers. Thanks, Jeff.
Welcome back, folks. This is it then, the final moto of the day, the Lifeline's fastest 40, incorporating the Liat Elite MX1 riders. They are the 450cc machine riders, and then the Apico MX2 category, the 250. So we got two separate championships within a race, but we are also scoring them for the Lifeline's fastest 40. The reason we're doing that is because we've always wanted to know, if you put the points together and just run them as one class, regardless of what CC, who would actually finish where, and how high up a 250 rider would actually finish if it wasn't scored on the CC. So basically that's what we're doing it. And it will give us a true fastest 40 at the end of the year. I mean, we can literally say these were the fastest 40 throughout the year on their points within the race. So that's why we're doing it. It just gives us an extra little thing for the riders to go for, particularly the 250 riders, to see how far up they can get in the overall championship. You have to say, realistically, the fastest 40 overall winner is going to be an MX1 rider, arguably even maybe the top 10. But you just never know. Let's see how far up a 250 rider will get in the overall championship. And what it also will do, it will give us a grading list, effectively, for next year's championship. We can genuinely say to riders and teams and give them the information back when they go to look for hiring riders next year. They can look at it and go, okay, well, these guys were the fastest 40 riders. So it's a good thing to do. I mean, we're running them in the same race anyway, so that's why we're doing it. So we've effectively introduced a new championship this year, which is the Lifeline's fastest 40. That's where they are all in it together. They're not scored by class, but of course with modern timing transponders, we can do that. So we can then separate the classes after that. That's why we have the Liat MX1 class and then the Apico MX2 class. So at the end of the year, out of this one race, we're going to have 3 champions. We're going to have the Lifeline's fastest 40 champion, we're going to have the Liat MX1 champion, and we're going to have the Apico MX2 champion. So it definitely brings something to it. A big shout out to all our sponsors, Michelin, of course, with the new Starcross 6, Milwaukee, you got Sintal with the open class, Apico, Moto Connection 7, Fly, this is a Lifeline's fastest 40, of course, Race Effects, all these people involved, basically making it a big thing. Moto Verde, we got Moto Connection, Work Sports, Insurance, loads of people to mention. We've also got guys that are not necessarily sponsors of the classes, Carbon Comps doing their thing, go on their site and get a ticket and go into a draw to win a motorcycle. We've got that going on. We've got the Kex Fastest Lap Awards, which we're sort out in the week after the event.
I'll just say as well, I have had people message me regarding insurance.
Well, there you go. The
So
power of
it's
advertising.
obviously worked.
Brilliant. So there we go. There's a lot of people that we'd like to thank. And again, another shout out to Ray White Transport Limited, because without Ray and the Arctic trailer and everything else, we'd struggle to get this event done. There's Lewis Hall getting some last minute rub down on the arms so he doesn't get all pumped up. So many people, as I said, Carbon Comp Spiral, Jake at Spiral doing all the awards and everything like that. We got the Carlos Fuels Awards, where basically 1-2 riders throughout the weekend will get 25 litres of fuel. We got the guys with Dirty, the app, the booking in app, getting involved this year as well. So many people making this happen. Bren Run as well. Loads of people. All the marshals, before we go off air, big shout to them for helping out, because that's always been a struggle. So thank you to all you marshals out there. Our incredible first aid crew, cross country, medical, stepping it up this year as well.
Definitely.
So far, we got one race to go and what has been a brilliant opening round, Callum.
Definitely. You can see the riders with extended peaks on now. Most of them doing that. And I've seen Tommy Searle's back lined up, so Tommy's going to have another go at it. Not sure what went on in the first one, but he's going to have another go. You'll see they're getting their start devices put on. What's a start device, Jeff?
A start device, young man, is basically a mechanism where you push the forks down. There's a little button that pushes through and clips onto a little clip on the lower part of the fork. It then holds the fork down, so it stops the front lifting on takeoff when they launch off the gate.
Yep.
That's basically the short version of it. They then, when it hits a bump,
Yeah.
It obviously goes down, the button pins out, and then sometimes we've seen them stick on, which is disastrous.
It can happen. It can
Very
happen.
rarely, but it does. We've seen that happen to
Jeffrey Hurling.
Hurlings, yep. By the way, those Jeffrey Hurlings
Hendo
goggles did go for, what was the final figure on those Jeffrey Hurling goggles?
£950.
Awesome. So that's going into the Jude Morris Foundation, which in turn will go on to so many things. Some of it will go to air ambulance. Some of it will help nurture young riders, bring them into the sport. Just great stuff that the Jude Morris Foundation's doing.
Right after this, we're going to have a shave-off.
Well, you and I aren't, because I'm already there.
Yeah, and I think my missus would kill me if I did that. But yeah, we're going to have a shave-off. Ashton Dickinson, who's in this race, is going to have his barnet shaved off because he's losing it anyway. He's there, number 115. We just missed him, so he's going to commit to having that whipped off. And Bob's going to have his famous goatee removed.
Yeah, Oakley, Bob Buchanan from Oakley, the goatee's coming off.
Yeah.
For charity, for the Jude Morris Foundation, all brilliant.
Unnerving. See Gilbert then with the start block. So Gilbert actually starts with his feet on his foot pegs.
I'm still not sold on that. Anyway, that's a personal thing.
No,
I don't know. I just
Do you
think,
not feel that that's an advantage?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just think it's
They all should do it.
That's what I'm saying. There's a technique in starting and balancing your feet and working it right. And I don't know. I'm just old school, and I. The two Phoenix.
If you can get an advantage from it, you're going to.
I mean, don't get me of all people would love them.
Yeah. I would.
I don't know. I'm still jury's out on that one for me.
But the theory is also that you're not carrying your weight as low. If you are there with your feet sort of resting on the foot pegs, you're not carrying your weight as low. So if you can get your feet flat down, then it is actually more beneficial because you can hold more weight down. The more weight you're carrying closer to the ground.
The science of it, eh?
Well, this is just what I've looked into. You know what I mean? So it's not all beneficial. No. Some riders prefer it, some don't.
God, Martin Barr's bringing in some kind of tour scaffolding.
Martin's going to stand on his handlebars.
Yeah, this is all interesting stuff. Obviously, we are very close to going here for Moto 2 of the Lifeline's fastest 40 championship moto, incorporating the Liat MX1 class. The first race was convincingly won by Josh Gilbert on the SC Sports Home, powered by Stebbings Car Superstore machine. The MX2 class, a Pico. That was a race win in the first one for Jamie Carpenter on his GRT Impact KTM. They were the winners of the opening moto by classes. Let's see who's going to get it done. The final moto of this, round 1 of the Michelin MX Nationals, powered by Milwaukee. Here we go.
Off the grid they go. Who's going to get the start?
It's Gilbert again with another flyer.
Tommy Searle up the inside. We've got them all there. Oh, Gilbert hit a big kick.
Look out, though. Here we go, because the reigning champion has made a better start this time. And Kulas, remember, didn't he come in second in the opening moto?
He had to work hard on the first few
laps. So effectively, obviously, with the point scoring in motocross, if it's a tie on points, whoever gets the better result in the second moto wins. So Kulas will know that. Josh Gilbert will know that. It's going to be an interesting couple of laps here. I can see these two laying it down because they know what's on the line here. And overall, and Sean Simpson, we're getting into real Sean Simpson territory now with the track like it is.
Sean could be the
spoiler.
The spoiler. He could just wind up the whip round here and do stuff that people.
Tommy Searle. Talk about a bad day at the office.
What a nightmare.
Do you know what? He's got so much experience, runner-up in the world on multiple times. Right now, I'm sure under that lid, he just wants to put the bike in the van and go home. But he can't.
I can't remember him ever having a good day at FatCat.
Oh, he's had a fair few.
Not in a long time.
No, maybe it's just one of those tracks that he just doesn't gel with.
I think it is, yeah.
But
you still got to do your job, though, haven't you, and work through it.
Yeah, so the Crendon fast track Hitachi Honda rider, it's not been a good day for him. Kulas, on the other hand, with the red plates, is off to a solid start to his championship.
Oh, that was class, wasn't it? See him just dancing through there. Grabbed the back brake halfway through a roller section.
You can see what we've been talking about the low light. The reason they've all got those extended peaks on It's not for the roost because they deal with that. They have roll-offs. It is all about managing the light in their eyes.
Yeah. And you'll see the riders, like, they're looking down a lot more than what they normally would be, because they are trying to manage that. It's very difficult round here because you get like shadowed holes and everything. It's very tricky to ride when the sun's low. That's why we've tried to cut the racing short before this to get these boys out as soon as we could.
Of course, these guys don't do the Planet Moto first lap leader because of it. They're all pro riders. A lot of them get down to Spain as part of their job anyway. So these guys don't have the first lap leader award. Of course, we got the Kex awards as well, but that is not for the fastest lap in the race. That's for the fastest lap per class over the weekend.
Jamie Carpenter just looked like he was going around the outside of Jake Millward. So
maybe he was. Let's find out. He did, didn't he? Did he get it done?
No,
there's Petr Petrov.
He's
working on it. Carlton Husband, last year's runner-up in MX2 with a much better start on the Phoenix Tools, even strokes Kawasaki, sat in there behind Jamie Carpenter. So that is your battle right there for MX2 in the Apico class.
There we are. The 303, and Millward's responding. He's trying to get around Peter Petrov. Eating these big dog 450s up, eh?
Oh,
could you imagine riding one of them around there tonight? Oh.
No, that was one thing. You know, regardless of the CC of the bike, we love the sport, whatever. We all do. I still, in all my time racing, I never really got completely comfortable of having a face load of dirt.
No.
Not a nice experience.
The 450s though as well, they cut out the track so much, don't they? They just scoop massive holes out the track, so they make them so rough. Let's look at these boys.
Oh, Jake getting a little bit squirrely through there. Good to see Petr Petrov back with us. He did race in the UK one time before, but he's back in the UK, and he's a big old unit.
There we are, look, Carpenter round the outside on the 250.
He's feeling it, isn't he? Look at him.
He's got some flow, hasn't he? So the 184, next guy is Petr Petrov, who's on a 450, by the way, so there's no real need for him to pass him. But he's going to do it anyway.
Oh, if you're carrying momentum like that, you've got to go for it, haven't you? You know, it's that simple, and he blows by. So Jamie Carpenter is feeling it this weekend. He took the first race win for his new team, GRT Impact KTM, and he is leading the way again in this one. You've got Carlton Husband in second in the 250 class, brought to you by Apico on the Phoenix Tools Even Strokes Kawasaki. Then it's Lewis Hall on his own private outfit, the LHR Huskies on now. Jay Haig on the Honda machine. He's on the Crendon Fast Track Hitachi Honda in fourth. Then it's Jamie Law on the Apico Husqvarna, Adam Collins on the motorcycle machine, and then Callum Mitchell. I'm not sure what Callum's riding, actually his new sponsor this year. Let's try and find out.
So as they're coming through, Josh Gilbert, Harry is leading the way over Harry Kula, Sean Simpson there in third, John Adamson is in fourth, and fifth is Petr Petrov, that's in MX1 Pro. In Pro MX2, Jamie Carpenter is leading the way over number 6 of Carlton Husband, Lewis Hall in third, Jay Haight in fourth, and Callum Mitchell rounding out the top 5. Yeah,
Callum is riding his new team there. Is a Fabricam race team, so that's Callum's new ride for this year. Fabricam repping those guys.
All eyes on Carpenter at the minute.
Yeah, that's so in the front. What's the gap at the front? It's coming down. Maybe we should. When the guys get an opportunity to switch back to the front, we're just trying to find the race leaders because there is not much between them. It's half a second. So Kulas, oh no, look, it's not. Gilbert is stretched out a massive gap. Sorry, I don't think our thing's updated yet, our little screen here. Well, I can't see Josh Gilbert. I can only see Kulas. There's Gilbert down there, isn't it? He is gone.
Gilbert has some serious speed.
God.
Like, this has got to be a ride to remember for Josh Gilbert. Seriously.
Well, he's obviously got to get it over the line, but I think even Josh probably would. Oh, what we got there? We got 2 riders down. We're trying to work out who that was. But Josh Gilbert on the SC Sports Homes powered by Stebbins Car Superstore, is basically romping it again in this one.
I think romping it is an undersell. It's ridiculous. 9 seconds over Harry Koulas in the matter of 2 laps. That's mental.
Yeah, that is. And of course,
like this is.
here we go. That's who we saw on the floor. It's Alfie Jones on the Chambers, Husqvarna, and Jason Mira all caught up together. 2 different classes. Jason's on an MX1. They're kind of like, they're just there.
How has this happened?
Well, look, somehow his wheel's gone right wedged in there.
Yeah.
Is that our man Matt out there again? He's the saviour. He's like the guardian angel of the riders out there. Matt Lavender out there trying to sort those bikes out.
Imagine him just pulling them apart. Like,
You've got to be careful because obviously those exhaust pipes get ridiculously hot.
Very hot.
You can burn yourself without even knowing it. Sean Simpson on the SS24, Machine his own team, picking up a bit of support from Gabriel as well, helping them out. He's got a load of like private sponsors from, most of them are from actually up there in Scotland, helping him out.
Is that John Adamson behind
Yeah,
him?
John, 2 Scots. We got the Battle of the Scots here.
John looks a bit leery, doesn't he? But tell you what, don't those Acer gas gases look insane?
Oh yeah, they look cool. I particularly enjoy watching John Adamson ride.
Yeah.
You get everything.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get with John Adamson. He leaves it all out there. He's all action. Look,
Carpenter's catching the both of them.
this is bonkers, isn't it?
Jamie Carpenter.
Seriously, do you
catching the
know
both of
what?
them.
Like, we should have done predictions. We don't like a bit like sort of Carmichael, really. You don't particularly like doing them. Oh, Johnny! John goes down with a classic high side. Well, I said he's all in. That got him there. That certainly bit him off. He smashed his peak down. He's got to pull that up now. But Classic just probably got a bit cross-rutted, maybe.
That was a big crash.
That was a big old swap.
Straight into the face of the jump there as well.
John is super tough, though. He'll get back up. Whether he'll be able to continue, he's got to call. Luckily, if there is such a thing as lucky after a crash like that, he's quite near the pit signalling area, so he might be able to pull in and they might be able to just rip that peak off.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. Carpenter is catching Sean Simpson. There's 2 standout riders for me today. If I could give, you know what I mean? If we could do a rider of the day. If only we could do a rider of the day.
Well, we can, effectively. We got the 2 Carlos fuel drums we got to give away. So I'm not sure what these guys do with the race fuel, but, you know, we've got to make a call. So why don't, if you want to do that.
I think Carpenter deserves one.
There you go, then.
I don't think I'd bother giving
we got another rider down. Liam Knight. What's happened there?
Wow, where's the rest of his bike gone?
His bike's just disintegrated. He's lost his seat and his rear mudguard, the whole subframe.
Wow.
No, the subframe's still on, is it? But he's lost his seat and his rear mudguard. There you go.
There it is.
Liam looks so disgruntled with that. Oh, man. Well, we said this track is brutal. Jamie.
Petr Petrov now coming back at Jamie.
Yeah, well, this is where potentially now Jamie Carpenter might just start to feel the energy sapping of that 250, and the 450s have just got that grunt, haven't they, to just pull them out of trouble.
Yeah. The 250, you've got to try and stay out the holes, haven't you? Carry a lot more momentum. Probably, well, it definitely is a lot more physical to ride, isn't it? When it's like this. I think the 450, you can get away with being a bit lazier.
You can. Jake Millwood looking tidy around here. Jake has got such a sublime style. Really effortless. But I've got to say, Petr Petrov here is showing a real interest. I guess, getting a customised back to UK motocross is a different environment. He's been away for a little while. He did a few races here back. I can't remember what year it was.
Racing, do you know?
I'm not too sure. Obviously he did GPs for a while, ex-GP rider. But he still looks like he wants it, and this will be good for the team. No doubt about it. He's look at the size. I mean, he's big. He's a big lad. Look at the size of his thighs. I mean, he's a big old lad.
Sean must be thinking, what? What? Where have you come from?
Yeah, there he goes. Look, he's like, look, who are you? Would you just leave me alone for a minute, Petr? Petr, will you please?
God, I had John on my heels a minute ago, and now you.
Just cut me some slack.
I'm retired.
Yeah, Sean will love it though. So looking at the 250 class, then you've got
Sean's retired, not retired.
no, yeah. Talking in the Apico MX2 class, you've got Jamie Carpenter leading the way. It looks to me like Lewis Hall is now gone into second, past Carlton Husband. So they are all running in the top 10 for a couple of for 3 250s out there, and track conditions like this to be in the top 10.
Very good.
Amongst the 450s is very good going. So remember, this is how we're doing it. It's the Lifeline's fastest 40 race. So they will be, as you see on screen right now, that is how we score the Lifeline's fastest 40. It's where they finish in the race, regardless of the CC. Then we do 2 championships within the race. We do the Leah MX1, which is just the 450 class, and then we do the Apico MX2 class, where we just separate them in the points. And effectively, we've got 3 championships in one race.
There we are.
And we will determine by the end of the year who actually are the fastest 40 riders in the championship.
I like it. So it looks like Sean Simpson has responded a little bit to Peter Petrov's charge. But then again, everything you say, the opposite happens. Petter's managed to find the speed. To be fair, on this part of the track, I think Petter has always been faster.
There comes
Sean
Millwood.
seems to be able to reel it back the other end.
Millwood with a tidy line through there. You can really see now with the sun from that back angle as they come through there just what the riders are dealing with. Look at Carlton Husband having to work that through there. He was just pulling on the bars the whole time.
So Gilbert is 17 seconds ahead now.
Do you know, if you've got to make a drive all the way down to Lou in Cornwall after a hard day's riding, that's what you want.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to drive home with like an,
style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drive home knowing you're the fastest man in the country.
I'm not sure if it's exactly where he's going, back home, but that is where he is from, down there in Cornwall on the south coast.
Yeah, will he be living there at the moment? I don't know.
Maybe not. It might be basing himself a little bit further, obviously, because once the season starts, we do a lot of travelling around. Maybe he's going to fly back to Florida this week.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't blame him. Yeah, his prize money would just about buy a flight, wouldn't it?
Yeah. As you can see on the clock there, we got 10 minutes 30 to go, plus 2 laps. We're not cutting this race short. They're the pros, the elite riders. They have to deal with it. We've taken a couple of minutes off some of the clubman classes and amateurs, which was all cool, all good in the hood. None of the guys complained about that. The track was more than brutal enough. They've had 4 races over a weekend, plenty of riding in. That's the other beautiful thing about the Michelin MX Nationals powered by Milwaukee. 2 days of plenty of ride time on really nice prepared circuits. And of course, now we're doing this live stream on MXN TV. Hopefully you guys out there watching and everybody involved with the series is benefiting from that.
Yep, and I think it's nice to be a local one for me. It's only an hour away, FatCat. I still stayed up here last night. Got the feel for Doncaster.
Did you?
No, I went to bed at 8
o'clock. I was going to say.
I get, honestly, mate, straight to bed. We were here yesterday. It was actually a really nice day yesterday, wasn't it? The sun was out. It was a bit warmer.
Yeah, definitely colder today. But it's still been a great day. There's been a good few people through the gate out there watching today. So thanks for coming out, those people that are here watching the Michelin MX Nationals. And thanks to all you people at home or wherever you are in the world for tuning in on MXN TV or whatever platform you're watching us on and supporting not only the Michelin MX Nationals powered by Milwaukee, supporting British motocross. We are doing our utmost to try and elevate the sport, bring it to a new audience. So we thank you for tuning in, even if you've only tuned in for half an hour, 10 minutes, whatever. Thanks for giving it a look. And remember, go on to mxnationals.co.uk. You'll see our calendar for the year. Our next round is next month down in Landrake, down in Cornwall. Josh Gilbert's home track.
Yeah. Get involved in the sport. If it's something that's excited you, there's plenty of experience days you can get yourself on. Have a go on a bike. It's the most affordable motorsport out there, so it's definitely worth a crack at it. And we appreciate you watching, and this is why we bring this feed to you for absolutely free. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It costs nothing but your time.
That's right. That's what it, and that's what we're trying to do. You know, it's we want to get it to a wider audience, so that's why we've made it free to view. That was Harry Kulas going through the screen, last year's champion with the red plate. Do you know what? I don't think he'd be too worried about the whole Josh Gilbert scenario. It's round one. It's a long series. And actually, we're not sure at this point whether Josh will be able to commit to the whole series. I don't know what his schedule is, or the team's schedule, because I know they are definitely going to be racing some AMA outdoor motocrosses. So hopefully they'll be able to commit to the whole series. But right now, Kulas, he's won it. He's been there. He's got the red plate. It's round one. What do we say? Can't win it at round one, but you can definitely lose it. A 2-2 score. That's cool for round one, is it?
It's not bad, no. So that team's going over to the US to do a bit over there. Have they got some American sponsorship?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of heard rumours that they were going, and then on last night's Live at 7 studio show, Josh basically announced that that's the plan. That's the team's plan. Didn't actually say what events they would be, because I don't think he actually knew.
Yeah.
But they are definitely going to be doing some AMA races this year. Yeah, not Supercross, just AMA outdoor.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to see how they get on. Okay, this is our MX2 leader. The Apico MX2 category race leader is still Jamie Carpenter on that GRT Impact KTM. The team will be absolutely ecstatic with this and their weekend. As I said, they had a last-minute change of title sponsorship. They had to rebrand everything. It was bad enough getting basically a team to the line this year with global production on so many parts, slowing down everything. There's so many teams out there that still don't have all the equipment they need. So to do a last-minute rebrand, the guys from Impact stepping in to help out as title sponsors, and what a way.
Yeah.
You know, whatever happens from here, Jamie Carpenter, he's took a race win. Obviously, they want the overall, but man, he has been really, really sound and solid so far this weekend. Look at that, not overriding, lovely and steady.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant performance from the 184. Someone was moaning to me the other day about this, KTM have brought the factory edition out in America but not here and stuff. And it's literally just that. There isn't enough parts.
Yeah.
Literally, a company like KTM cannot manufacture enough parts to build enough new motorcycles for the world. And that's just how it is.
Yeah, and I think we all know, again, without wanting to spread too much doom and gloom, we've still got a ways to go to
get
sort
back
of,
to normality.
to get back to genuine normality from the pandemic. It looks like Petrov is looking at it, but look at that, Sean's fighting back. Petter is like, do you know what? Oh, yeah, okay, go on then. Yeah, I'll let you have that for a minute. Let me have a rethink. that's almost what it was
Sean
like,
just
wasn't it?
saw that little line and was like, yeah, just a little bit of a squirt of the gas there and we'll just get back up there. When you watch Sean, it just looks like he's putting absolutely zero amount of energy in. Petrov is obviously such a big guy. There's a lot of moving in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot more moving. Sean's just, yeah, okay, we'll make that work there.
Yeah, super smooth. He always has been. He's great. Like I said, you don't go winning GPs in sand unless you know how to ride it. And Sean Simpson has a couple of them under his belt. I think that might be 3 actually. But either way, yeah, he's having a solid ride here. But nobody more solid than our race leader, Josh Gilbert, who is now a whopping 22.6 seconds ahead at the front of the field on his SC Sports Home, powered by Stebbins Car Superstore Husqvarna. I'm genuinely taken back. I wouldn't have predicted either of our class potential winners at this point.
No.
So there you go. You just don't know. But it's a long old year of racing to go yet. This is just round 1 of the Michelin MX Nationals, powered by Milwaukee. And as I said, we got a 6-round series wrapping up in September at Hawkstone.
So the top 10 overall right at the minute. Obviously, Josh Gilbert leading the way. Harry Kulas is in second. Sean Simpson in third. Peter Petrov is in fourth. Jake Millward is fifth. Sixth is Jamie Carpenter. Seventh is Carlton Husband. Eighth is Martin Barr. Ninth, Adam Collins. 10th at the moment Ashton Dickinson, who is shaving his hair off after this moto.
Well, we better give him a bit of time. Don't want to just come in
That
from
straight
a
in, get it off, whip it off. I want it off sweating.
After a grueling 30-minute moto, get here, we're going to shave your head. Like some kind of corporal punishment. Josh Gilbert, look at, I mean, this is ridiculous. It doesn't even look, that's the sign of, though, when things are going good. I mean, it looks like he's on an outlap.
I know.
Doesn't it? He's just sort of on the pace.
He looks even better than he did in the first one.
Got to be loving life under that lid. That is for sure. 3:26. Leading the Lifelines fastest 40 second moto here at round one. In some start to look at that, lovely, just picking the wheels up. He's almost doing that classic sort of go slow to go quick thing going on now, isn't it? It's just hopping over the bumps, getting his timing right, not overriding the bike all the track.
He looks perfect, mate. Because, I mean, what shocked me the most is how good Josh has been on hardpack. We've already seen him. See him at Landrake. You sort of expect him to be good. And you're like, okay, well, that's Josh. Josh is sick in that. It is what it is. I've never seen Josh do this in sand.
Here's one for you. If he stays with the team, and at this point you'd have to say why wouldn't he?
Well,
I think he's clearly booked his trip to Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
With Clinton Putnam, Neil Prince and the team for next year. I think they're kind of looking at it going, yeah, that kind of worked.
Depends
I think
whether they've got enough money to keep the lad.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
On, checkbook out.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, astonishing. And if this has worked for him, then why would they not, as a team, do it again?
Yeah.
You know, especially if it is cost effective, it makes sense for sponsorship. If you've got someone who's winning, you're going to get more sponsorship. You know, it's all, that's how racing works. 1 minute 20 on the clock.
Yeah, still time to go. Looking at the leaderboard, Jamie Carpenter on that GRT Impact KTM is your leading rider in the Apico MX2 class. Carlton Husband is second in that class on the Phoenix Tools Even Strokes Kawasaki. Then it looks like it would be on your timing screen. That's the colouring, by the way, if you're trying to wondering what's going on. Blue is the Liat MX1 class. Red is the Pico MX2 class. So you can see there, it's Callum Mitchell is your third place rider on the Fabricant race team. I think he's on a KTM now, isn't he? 11th in the race, but third in the MX2. Adam Collins is fourth. Tom Grimshaw is down to fifth on the Chambers machine. And then Lewis Hall hanging tough in there in sixth on the 250 two-stroke.
Do you want to know something funny? Well, not funny, amazing. Josh Gilbert's fastest lap time is at 2 minutes 0.5. Harry Koulas is at 2:04. He is 4
Yeah,
seconds
I mean,
faster than the second fastest man.
Yeah.
Mental.
Yeah, we are, as you can tell, me and Callum are genuinely, listen, we know Josh Gilbert would be running near the front because he's a front runner. But, man, just did not expect this of him. No way.
No.
As we said, it's just a brilliant advertisement for the Florida Tourist Board, for motocross riders. Clearly, get yourself to Florida in the winter and get some track time in, and this, pays dividends. Koulas, as I said, though, on the Cabs Greens Crescent Yamaha, he won't be flustered with this. He's got the red plate on for a reason. He knows how to win a championship. It's round one. He'd kind of be maybe a little bit disappointed that he couldn't take a race win, but he put it this way, he'll sleep sound tonight. He's not going to lose sleep over it. No way.
Plenty of time.
To be fair, I think anybody that's ridden the track today will sleep sound.
Yeah, I think so.
They'll just be so tired they won't feel the aches and pains. It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday that it'll hit them.
So Gilbert lapping Stuart Edmonds. Stuart's really not had a good day. That's 2 laps to go.
Yep, 2 laps to go for the leading rider in the Liat MX1 category, but also the leading rider in the fastest 40 race presented by Lifelines Sports Nutrition. Go and check them out. Lifelines, basically, it's you can find them online, find them all over social media. It makes you refresh, recover, rehydrate, all the kind of things you need back in your body to after a grueling moto to recover.
Or a night out, probably.
Maybe. That'd be more what we're interested in.
All right, Andy Gilbert probably got something for that.
yeah. Not Josh will have it for the racing, Andy will have it for the nightlife. Yeah, good stuff. So thanks to Lifelines for supporting the fastest 40. Massive shout out to Liat as well. You know, a major brand in motocross, obviously really broke through with the neck brace and all the, you know, renowned for their protection, but now knocking out, you know, great kit designs, loads of kits. So boots and everything. So thanks to Liat for stepping up and becoming a partner with us at the Michelin MX Nationals for the Elite MX1 class. And also Apico that were with us last year with the expert class, but they've got involved with the Elite MX2 class. So thanks to Dylan Brown, all the team there, Scott Cannon, everybody at Apico for getting behind us as we try to push things forward here at the Michelin MX Nationals. And just basically try and make motocross in the UK just that little bit better place to be.
Make motocross great again. Should we get some hats?
Your country needs you and all that.
Jamie, also another stellar ride. Absolutely mint. What a performance. I imagine his team are going to be over the moon. His dad's going to be happy with this. Jamie's going to be ultimately very happy with this, because I know for years Jamie's been working so hard to get results in the MX2 class. He did when he was a youth, didn't he? He had some good results, and it just took a bit of time to click. He's had a few different bikes, and it just seems like everything's working. So super happy for Jamie. I remember him having a good result here, maybe last year though as well. But this is a different level that we're seeing him at today. I mean, he really is putting on a good show. He's running 6th in the race. It's quite impressive. It's
incredibly impressive. Yeah. You know, he's worked incredibly hard, travelled around, you know, all Northern Europe, getting the time in on these sand tracks, whatever. You know, him and his dad, Jason, tight little family effort regards of the direct family involvement in racing, but obviously now riding for the GRT Impact team as well.
Yeah, probably helps him out quite a bit, doesn't it? Because I know he was doing a lot of it by himself before.
Yeah.
Like Lewis is now. It's a lot harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's much harder when you have. Jamie's quite handy with bikes and stuff, isn't he? He'd prep his own bike. Jamie even does his own suspension and stuff. He knows what he's doing. He's very handy on tools. But it is very draining. If you're having to do all that in the week, prep bikes ready to go riding, you're not focusing on training and going riding, are you? So, I mean, it just shows. Good team, good people around you, and things can change.
Exactly, and that's that level that you need when you get there. It's the finer details when you get to that level. They go a long way, you know. Like you can kind of get away with it in clubman amateur racing if you're good enough.
Yeah.
You know, but when you get to this level, you need all the elements working for you.
You've got to focus on riding the bike, training, and eating right.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, you have to have people picking up the slack in other areas, and if you're doing it by yourself, very difficult. That's what Lewis Hall's doing at the moment.
So he must
Lewis
be
gritty though, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll go the distance. He'll definitely go the distance. He'll only go out of a race if he crashes and can't continue. I think this is it, isn't it? Is this the final lap? It looks like it the way by Josh Gilbert's body language. Right, Josh, come on. Don't just get round this corner. Yeah, I bet he's probably thinking, I can't believe I crashed there last time. Well, what can you say? He has got one corner to go by our reckoning. He would, yeah, look at that. That's all that winter in Florida has definitely paid off. He is going to go 1-1 here in the fastest 40. Brought to you by Lifelines. Yeah, it takes the race win, and also with it, of course, the Liat MX1 overall. Harry Kulas will come in second. And then we've got to see who's going to get this 250 done. It should be, by our reckoning, Jamie Carpenter. There's Kulas coming in seconds on the cab screens, Crescent Yamaha. Simpson will be rolling in third on his own team, SS24. There's Tommy Searle. A day at FatCat he will quickly forget, I'm sure.
Yeah, Tommy Searle all the way back in 20th position. But hey, a point's better than no points.
Yeah, We don't know what's going on with Tommy there, but clearly he's had a very bad off day. Let's get Jamie Carpenter on the line, over the line. I'm going to go down there and do these interval training. Interviews, and then we'll be wrapping up our coverage once we've spoken to the two winners. So, Callum, I'll let you bring them in.
Yep. So here we are. This is Jamie Carpenter taking his second overall victory of the day at FatCat Motorsports, and he's about to cross the line. And what a brilliant performance that was from the GRT Whole Shot KTM rider.
Down here in the winner's circle with the winner of the Lifeline's Fastest 40 and Leah MX1 racing this weekend, Josh Gilbert. Well. You go away to Florida in the winter, you come back, romp it, 1-1. Really? Did you honestly expect that?
No, because I'm not really. I don't really like sand, and that was brutal today. That I think the only other time that I've ridden something as hard as that is Lommel. Just the holes in the bottom of the bumps. It just, you caught one bump wrong and you felt it right up through your body, like your ankles just took a beating. So it was so hard to just try and stay up on the top, up high everywhere, and just try and keep a flow. But my back just started to give away about 15 minutes in. I was telling myself, just hang it out, one more lap, because I could see the gap. I was pulling away quite a lot, and yeah, the last sort of 5 laps were just survival mode. I started going in the holes, but I could see that Harry wasn't really catching. I think he might. The last lap I literally did just cruise around just to get to the finish, and I could see Harry caught me that last lap a little bit, but it was still, I still had a 30-second lead, so.
You didn't crash this time and make it interesting for us.
No, I made sure of that. Even though I was cruising that last sort of lap, I was like, just get everything right. The hard bits, just don't think about anything. Just concentrate, and yeah, it's paid off finally.
We were saying in commentary that you got a long drive home. That will make the drive a little bit sweeter, won't it now? You can kick back. Have you actually got to physically drive yourself, or are you going to sit in the passenger seat with a bad back?
I'll sit in the passenger seat with a bad back, yeah.
Well earned. Josh, well done. Great performance on the weekend. As we said, your Lifeline's Fastest 40 and Leah MX1 winner here at round 1, Josh Gilbert. Well done.
Cheers, thank you.
Right, we're down here in the winner's circle with your Pico MX2 winner, going 1-1, another 1-1 performance. Jamie, I'll make this quick, only because you've just said to me you're so shattered. You've got a job to stand up. Yeah. Brutal, but come on, it's got to be worth it, isn't it? You know, new team, GRT Impact. What a way to start your series, man.
Yeah, it's a great way to start the year at the MX Nationals, going 1-1. First time going 1-1 in the pro class as well. I had a race win last year, but it's definitely better to do it 2 races in a row.
And that track, I mean, you know, obviously I thought it was brutal last year, but again, we've had like a lot of rain coming in, and then the sun has dried it out more this year. One of the toughest tracks you've arguably ever ridden.
Yeah, it was definitely brutal out there. I think with all the different levels of riders, like, you just get all the different bumps.
Yeah. So what happens now? I mean, you know, the team are going to celebrate. You know, what's going to happen now? You're going to take time to recuperate. Obviously, your team must be made up.
Yeah, well, we got 2 weekends off now, so yeah, it's good to get this in the bank and yeah, reset a little bit and yeah, come back swinging at the next races, hopefully.
Well, look, you going back to home tonight, back to Ringwood?
Yeah, definitely 4 or 5 hours back, so that'll be a lot better after 2 wins.
It will be, indeed, it will be. Listen, go and get some rest, a well-earned drink. Well done. Jamie Carpenter, your winner of the Apico MX2 here at round 1.
Thank you.